Today, we're going to explore one of the most incredible and, frankly, elegant pieces of engineering that you have tucked away inside your own head. It's a structure that basically acts as your brain's ultimate insurance policy. So, let me just start with a question for you. Think about a massive traffic jam on a major highway. Everything just grinds to a halt, right? Now, imagine that highway is inside your brain, and the traffic isn't cars, it's your blood supply. What happens then? What's the backup plan?
Well, that very question gets us right to the heart of the matter. You see, your brain is dealing with a super high-stakes problem every single second of every single day.
Here's the thing. Your brain is an energy hog. Unlike a lot of other parts of your body, it has absolutely zero tolerance for interruptions. It needs a constant, nonstop flow of blood to get its oxygen and nutrients. If that supply gets cut off, even for a few minutes, it is a full-blown catastrophe. That's when you get into really scary territory like ischemia or a stroke. Brain cells literally start to die. So our bodies absolutely needed to evolve a solution for this.
And boy, did it come up with a good one. Nature's solution to this problem is it's incredibly clever. So let's meet the hero of our story today, the brain's very own traffic circle.
The fancy anatomical name for it is the Circle of Willis. And what it is a ring of arteries right there at the base of your brain. Its official job is to provide something called collateral circulation, which is really just a technical way of saying it connects all the major blood supply highways that come up into your head. Seriously, the absolute best way to picture this thing is as a roundabout, or a traffic circle for your blood. If one of the main roads heading into the brain gets blocked, no problem. The blood flow can just reroute through this circle to get where it needs to go. It's a genius system for avoiding a catastrophic gridlock. So how is this amazing little structure actually put together? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the blueprint. It's actually a lot simpler than you might think. We can really break down its construction into three basic parts. You've got a connection at the front, you've got two main inlets on the sides where the big arteries feed in, and then you have a connection at the back that ties it all together. Front, sides, and back. That's it. Now, that simple frame is formed by a handful of key arteries. Up at the front, you have the anterior cerebral and the anterior communicating arteries. The main pipes coming in from the sides are the big internal carotid arteries. And then the whole thing is finished off in the back by the posterior cerebral and posterior communicating arteries. You put all those pieces together and bam, you get a complete hexagonal ring. Okay, so now we know what it looks like. But what does it actually do? This is where it gets really cool. This little circle has what I like to call three incredible superpowers that are protecting your brain 24/7. Yep, three of them, and each one is absolutely vital for keeping you up and running. Okay, superpower number one, it provides detours. This is its most famous job, right? If a major artery gets clogged, blood can just take a different route through the circle to get to the part of the brain that needs it. Superpower number two, it ensures stability. It works kind of like a pressure reservoir, making sure the entire brain gets that constant, steady blood supply we talked about. And third, it balances the flow. It's always equalizing the blood pressure between the right and left sides of your brain, keeping everything in perfect harmony. But like any great hero in any good story, this circle, well, it has a vulnerability. Even this amazing design has a critical weak spot. You see, the very points where all these different arteries connect, the intersections in our traffic circle, they're under a ton of constant pressure. This can sometimes cause a weak spot in the artery wall to bulge out, and that forms something called a baryaneurysm. And the huge danger there is that if one of those were to rupture, it causes an incredibly severe type of brain bleed known as a subarachnoid hemorrhage. And if you look here, this chart shows us exactly where those weak spots tend to pop up. You can see the anterior communicating artery, that's that front connection we mentioned, is by far the most common site for these aneurysms. The posterior communicating artery is another hot spot. So it's this weird paradox. The very design that creates the life-saving detours also creates these points of potential failure. So after looking at its design, its powers, and even its weakness, let's just pull it all back together. Why does this little circle of blood vessels matter so much? I think this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In the incredibly high-stakes world of brain function, where any little interruption can be devastating, the Circle of Willis is your built-in insurance policy. It's the system that kicks into gear to prevent a catastrophic shutdown. When you really stop and think about it, it is a true masterpiece of biological engineering. It's simple, it's elegant,
And it's an absolutely vital structure that's working silently right now to make sure your brain, your consciousness, your thoughts, your very sense of self stays online every single second of every day.
And that kind of leaves me with one last thought. The Circle of Willis is such an incredible backup plan for our most critical organ. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other elegant, life-saving backup systems just like this are hiding in plain sight deep inside our own bodies?